Hi, this is Simon from Fingers on Plastic. You know, it's tricky being a man of my age, which is 33.6-ish, and being a wrestling fan. I like the pomp and circumstance. I like the ridiculousness. It's fun. It entertains me, and that's its point. I'm entertained by it. So, over this last week, it's been quite a big week in the world of professional wrestling. So on Monday they started their new season, which is merely just them just starting again, or they didn't really do it. It's just normal. But on Wednesday, the Wednesday Night War kicked off, and AEW solidly took that first battle, even though I thought NXT was the better show. Then we had the debuting Friday Night SmackDown. It's funny, you really think that WWE should have, Googled Fox and Friday Night. They may have come across something called the Death Slot, which is pretty much what they're in. But then again, Fox only cancelled good stuff, and the end of that SmackDown was not good. And so you'd think after this week they'd come out flying for a major pay-per-view. Hell in the Cell. It's a big marquee name. It is time to get it on. So like I said in the predictions video, they shit the bed with the marketing because they basically seem to forget to market it with just 4 matches announced. So I keep looking down here because I'm trying to bring up my spreadsheet with the results on it whilst I'm waffling. Right, results ready. So, on the pre-show was Natalya and Lacey Evans, with Natalya picking up a win. Neither of us guessed that because we didn't know about it. Also, I'm going to go through the matches they added. So they added 5 extra matches were added to the card, like an hour or so before it actually started. Some during the show, which is, the way it's done, obviously. So Natalya versus Lacey Evans, with Natalya picking up the win. Ali versus Randy Orton, with Randy Orton taking up the win. Apparently there's a really cool moment where he handstand out of an RKO, so it's worth watching. Alexa and Nikki versus the Kabuki Warriors, with the Kabuki Warriors picking up the straps. The OC versus the Vikings and... is it Viking Experience? Viking Raiders? What do we call them now? And Braun Strowman, with that match I believe actually being thrown out. On my spreadsheet it's wrong. Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable, with Chad Gable getting a nice win. Apparently these are all fairly okay matches with some nice surprise. I know you didn't like Hell in the Cell earlier, did you, Daisy? So also in the video, because obviously, stop saying obviously. So now I've got a friend I do predictions with, and we've got a nice friendly little rivalry going. And because he's a cheeky monkey, he decided he wanted to throw in some wild guesses from rumours to see if he could get some cheeky points. I actually said no, to which he called me a rather rude name. Yes, exactly. And but I should have said yes, but if you're wrong, you lose a point, because he guessed the Revival versus the New Day and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ali. Obviously, neither of them happened, Matt, so, who's the what's it now? He was just trying to score points. I mean, I think what we're doing is we're just going to do, announced matches, right or wrong. No messing around. Keep it nice and simple. And I'm saying that as someone that's still a point behind. Anyway, the actual 4 announced matches. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, which I thought, would that be match of the night? And yes, it was. It sounded like it was spectacular. Some awesome cage stuff. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Apparently, another great match. Just the wrong result. I didn't really want it, but I do love a good hug it out. Hug it out. Charlotte versus Bayley. An okay, serviceable match. Again, I like Charlotte, and she is probably the best person to be holding the belt for Friday Night SmackDown, but at the same gesture, she doesn't need it. But then, I mean, the ideal dynamic is Daisy, stop playing with the camera. That's not the ideal dynamic. The ideal dynamic is, you know, Charlotte being the champion and a face Bayley pursuing it. But that's not the way they've gone. But, you know, whatever. So far, me and Matt are 0 points each. We got all 3 guesses wrong so far. Then the main event. So again, I said that they were either going to ruin the Hell in the Cell or ruin the feed. They couldn't, you know, not do one unless they impressed me. Did they impress me? Well, both me and Matt got a point. They threw the match out because Seth Rollins was too aggressively beating the Fiend. So they killed both, really. Well done. You suck. The one good thing, and you've just knocked it on the head. Honestly, what is wrong with the storytelling? Why? What happened? Why was it so badly wrong? And I think the true winner of that night was one of the Young Bucks. One of the Young Bucks. Just posted a quick tweet afterwards saying, AEW Dynamite Wednesday nights, and the time was like, it's all they needed to say. So yeah, they had this cool, awesome new character in the Fiend, and pooped on it, and they've got this really cool gimmick. I mean, it was iffy last year when, you know, it went red for whatever reason. I think maybe because, you know, people were saying, you know, they missed blood in the Hell in the Cell match because, you know, it added to it. So Vince must have been like, let's make the cage red. Yeah, really. It was actually quite a solid, like, you know, like those. Well, I say solid. 2 really good matches, couple of okay matches, and then one which was just so bad, such a bad taste in the mouth that it erased any good. So I feel, you know, the people I feel for from this are Sasha and Becky, who had a hell of a match, heck of a match. But no one's going to remember it because of the shit show that was the main event. Exactly, Daisy just fell off the bed grooming herself. I saw you. Right, so let's tally up the scores. There's not much tallying of scores, to be perfectly honest. So the total scores, basically, we got one, so it's exactly the same. We just plus 1. So Toy Therapy is still 1 rotten point ahead. And then the next pay-per-view is the Saudi Arabia ones, which is sort of morally ambiguous at best. So yeah, Toy Therapy still in the rotten lead. I'm coming for you, Matt. I am coming for you.
Fingers on plastic.